Have you ever felt so low that you thought you didn't belong here on earth? Like it would be easier just to end it because you didn't feel like you had a purpose here? Yeah, I know the feeling. I want to tell my story by becoming a motivational speaker to inspire others to try and get help. I open up about my life so that other people can know how I made it through my struggles and how they're able to make it through theirs.
According to the National Center for Children in Poverty, 1 in 5 children has a diagnosable mental disorder.
I began to notice my mental health issues when I was younger. I'd say about 11.
Found by mentalhealth.gov, mental health is our emotional, psychological, and social well-being that can be affected by our biology, life experiences, and family history.
What contributed to my mental health issues the most, I would say going through foster care and having a mother that was addicted to drugs and not having a father around.
The National Conference of State Legislators states that 80% of children in foster care have significant mental health issues.
After foster care, about a year after, is when they began to worsen. When I was back with my mother, I started self-harming and attempting suicide.
The early warning signs are having low energy, feeling numb, feeling hopeless, and having severe mood swings.
After my mom realized that I wasn't eating, and when I was eating, I was throwing it up, and after she realized that I was cutting myself, she placed me into counseling.
Less than 20% of children and adolescents with diagnosable mental health problems receive the treatment that they need.
I didn't like explaining myself or telling my problems because I really didn't know what was wrong. I couldn't put my finger on it. After a year of therapy, I decided that I wouldn't go anymore. My mom thought that I was okay to not go as long as I continued the medication that they had me on for depression. So we stopped the counseling and I began taking more of the medication that was supposed to stop the depression and put me in my so-called happy place. But we eventually found out that that happy place definitely wasn't there for me, and I went back to attempting suicide.
According to the National Institute of Mental Health, suicide was the leading cause of death overall in the United States in 2014.
I took her heart pressure medication, my mother's heart pressure medication, and was attempting to end it because I didn't felt like anything was working. My boyfriend found me outside of the house and ran inside to go grab my mom. They thought that I was having a panic attack because then I was having panic attacks that were 5 hours long. So my mom came outside and she grabbed me and gave me Xanax because she thought I was having a panic attack. At that point is when I told her that I had taken too much medication and she had just given me more. While on the phone with 911, they were telling me to stay awake and trying to keep me awake. And at that point I was awake, very alert of everything and very much listening to what they were saying. I was scared. But once they pulled me into the ambulance and we were pulling up to the hospital, I remember falling asleep. And when I fell asleep, all I saw was white. I could hear everyone, what they were saying. I just couldn't move. I felt paralyzed. And after that point, after having charcoal down my throat to try and get me to wake up and not have all of that medication into me, I ended up being flown out here, Flight for Life, because the charcoal didn't work. After being on life support for a day, I woke up in the hospital with cameras in my room and a nurse sitting next to me. and I wasn't allowed to move. I was in pain. It was the worst experience ever. And waking up, everyone was so happy, but yet I still wasn't. Once I woke up, I thought that I would get to go home and back to normal. I would still be upset and I would be in my room and we would just go day by day. But I woke up to a rude awakening when the nurse then told my mom that I would have to be placed in a mental hospital.
Mood disorders, including major depression, dysthymia, and bipolar disorder, are the third most common causes of hospitalization in the United States for both youth and adults.
After they checked me, they placed me on multiple different medications and got me basically ready for home in my new room that I definitely wasn't proud to be in.
The first step towards recovery is reaching out for help. Studies show that people with mental health problems get better and many recover completely.
After a couple months, I wasn't trying to do suicide anymore. I wasn't cutting myself, and I still wasn't on the medication. I started to realize that I did have a purpose, and that I was smart, and that I did have qualities that made me special, and people loved me and supported me no matter what I had done. I started to realize that what I was doing didn't only hurt me, but it hurt my family as well, and what I was doing was selfish.
In order to get better, a recovery plan must be written. The individual must make healthy choices, secure a stable and safe place, have a purpose by engaging in meaningful daily activities, and to build relationships that provide support.
Recovery steps that I tried writing down in a journal. I tried making friends in the groups that were also in the therapy group that I had went to. And we would all speak about our problems, just having girls that understood that I didn't know what was wrong, but there was something definitely wrong. I tried the medication, and it works for some people, and for others it just doesn't work. I've tried every possible outlook, but none of them were working. I'd say what worked the best was actually going to the mental hospital and seeing all the girls that struggled through situations that were so much worse than me, and it kind of clicked in my head that this isn't what I should be doing. I was young and I still had my whole life to live, that anything could change like a light switch, and that's exactly what it did. After 3 years, I am now doing way better. I have a daughter, and she definitely brightens my day, or any mood that I'm in can make me go from sad to happy with just a laugh. 3 years down the road, I can't even believe that I was trying to end it over my mental illness. I was trying to let it win, which now I look back and thank God every day that He didn't let me take my life into my own hands.
One of the most important parts to recovery is actively participating in your treatment by being educated, informed, and engaged about your own mental health.
I want to inspire others to find their reason to live, because I believe that everyone here on earth has a purpose. I tell my story because I hope to help and inspire at least one person to keep living, because you are enough, you are loved, and there are so many things here that we look forward to. I hope to inspire others to not make permanent decisions based on their temporary feelings or problems. I like the saying, or I like to say, God gives His worst battles to His strongest soldiers. Life always hits us and makes us have our lows, but it's up to us to change them and have a better outcome at life. And I hope this helps somebody that's feeling down and out. Bring yourself up, you're definitely worth it.